Okay, guys, we need to talk about Jeffree Star because something has been happening with him over the past several months that genuinely deserve way more attention than it's gotten. And I don't think people fully understand how deep this actually goes, because this isn't a story about a bad lipstick lounge or just a feud with another beauty guru, guys. No, this is about a man who built an entire empire, an entire fan base, an entire identity, largely within and because of the LGBTQ plus community, and is now actively saying things that are alienating that exact same community, one TikTok live at a time. And the wildest part, he's doing it under the guise of "I'm just picking facts." Like that phrase magically removes all consequences from what comes out of his mouth. Yes, welcome back to your Unplugged, and thank you so much for your continued support so far. It's been so refreshing. Let's actually get into the receipts because there are a lot of them. And once you see them laid out together, the pattern is impossible to ignore. So, back in September, conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace, was shot and killed while speaking at a Utah university. And in the days after, Jeffree went on a TikTok live to talk about it, which fine. Public figure process things publicly, that's normal. But what he said during that live had people genuinely stunned. He started defending Kirk, saying he was just a man who went around the country debating people. Okay. And then he pivoted, you guys, and this is where it gets messy, into directly attacking non-binary people. He said, and I'm quoting him directly here, "If you believe in they, them, you are part of the problem." You guys, he told a follower who said they were unfollowing him, "Thank God." And then he said something that I genuinely think a lot of his longtime fans were not prepared to hear. The grown men going into women's bathroom wearing wigs should all be in prison forever. Can you sit with that for a second, you guys? This is a man who has spent his entire public life in makeup, in wigs, and of course in full glam, being praised by his own community for living unapologetically as himself. And in that same breath, he's suggesting that other people expressing themselves outside of traditional gender norms belong to prison. Can you see the pattern here, you guys? If you thought that was a one-time off moment, asleep during an emotional live, it wasn't, because not long after, he went on a podcast called The Skinny Confidential and doubled down, except this time it felt much more calculated, you guys. He said he's not gay, that he's just open and very me. I quote him. Fine, people get to define their own identities however they want. That is not the issue here, you guys. The issue is what he said next, that the LGBTQ plus acronym shouldn't include the Q or the T at all. His reasoning was that being attracted to people is one thing, but your identity issues and who you think you were is something separate. And in his own words, you guys, those two things shouldn't be together. And then it got worse. He said parents who support their transgender children are, quote, fucking weirdos.
So this is what I said recently that people really understood. When I grew up and I started looking different, right? My mother encouraged me to just be myself. When I started wearing makeup and being more feminine and wanting to do certain things, it wasn't, oh my God, Jeffree needs, what do they call it now? Gender affirming care. I'm done. She let me be myself. She didn't push me to be anything. Just like when you're a tomboy, did your mom try to, get you a surgery to be you know what I mean? Did she cut your tits off at 13? No. So nowadays it's all these fucking weirdos telling their kids, oh my God, you like a Barbie? You're a woman. No, that's just a little boy experimenting, not knowing what the fuck he's doing.
A man who for years have talked publicly about how his own mother supported him for being different, supported him wearing makeup and dressing how he wanted, turned around and called other parents weirdos for doing the exact same thing for their kids. Not because those kids happen to be trans. The comment section under that clip, you guys, honestly went wild, and it's so wild to read because you've got people calling him insane and others refreshing for saying this stuff without fear of cancellation. And here, I think they are completely missing the irony that the entire reason Jeffree Star built a career was because people accepted him without judgment for being himself. Then in January, you guys, it kept going. The same week, an ICE agent shot and killed a woman named Renee Good during what was called a targeted operation. An actual death, you guys, an actual tragedy here. May she rest in peace. Jeffree was on a live making jokes about ICE, not addressing it seriously. Jokes, you guys. And then Perez Hilton, of all people, called him out directly for it, saying whether you are for or against the deportations happening right now, a woman was dead, and that is not something you should be joking about. And one of the other influencers on that same live, Jessica Damon, later posted publicly that she regretted not speaking up in the moment, saying she takes full accountability for not standing up against what Jeffree said, of course. And then just weeks ago, more backlash hit. This time, it was from the Latino community after comments he made about ICE agents led to what is being described online as a massive unfollowing. So here is what I keep coming back to when I look at all of this laid out together, you guys. Jeffree Star did not get famous by being safe. No, he got famous by being loud, by being unapologetically himself, by representing a kind of freedom that a lot of people, especially queer kids who grew up feeling like they had to hide parts of themselves, found genuinely inspiring. And now, piece by piece, comment by comment, he is using the same platform to draw lines around who deserves acceptance and who doesn't. Trans people apparently don't make the cut. Non-binary people apparently are part of the problem. Parents supporting their trans kids are weirdos, but Jeffree, a man who has built an entire identity around defying gender norms, get to be exceptional. Can you see the double standard here, guys? That is not just a political opinion he is entitled to have. That's hypocrisy with a platform attached to it. Guys, I think what bothers me most about all of this isn't even about the comments, you guys. People say controversial things online all the time. It's the fact that so much of his current fanbase seems to be cheering him for it, treating exclusion as if it is some kind of bravery. And I genuinely wonder how many of the queer kids who grew up watching his makeup tutorials, who felt seen by him in some way, are watching this transformation happen in real time and feel. So, tell me, you guys, where you are going to land on this, because I want a real conversation in the comments. Is this just Jeffree being Jeffree, chasing controversy because it has always worked for his brand? Or is this something more concerning that we should be concerned about because there is a genuine shift in who he is willing to throw under the bus to stay relevant? If you are new here, welcome to Euro Unplugged. We go past the surface every single time. Subscribe and turn on that notification bell because we are not done with this one, you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. It's Euro.